Hey YouTubers and Mercedes fans, here's the E-Wagon. This is model year 2000 E320 wagon, otherwise affectionately known as the W210 wagon, and it had a rotting rear muffler. And the reason that's a little bigger deal on the wagon than the sedan is that it's a very odd shape and it's only specific to this car and very expensive, $300. So I was trying to figure out a creative way to not have to spring for the $300 muffler. Of course, that would be without installation. So you'd be really looking at $400 when it's all said and done for a muffler that's overly quiet and doesn't really show off the car's nice, high-quality, high-performance engine. So anyways, here's what I've done. I'll do a sound check here, a startup. We'll put it on the ramps and take a look underneath. A couple different phases to this mod. And the first thing I did was the muffler, a Flowmaster 40 series. We'll take a closer look at that. But here's how she sounds when it starts up. Alright, now you know what it sounds like when it starts up and runs. There's the exhaust, the chrome exhaust tip, and I'll get up under there closer in a second here. Okay, so there's a little closer view of the Flowmaster 40 series. This one is a 42441 model, and there was tons of room because the stock muffler is so big. You can see that heat shield above it. That's how big the stock muffler was. Literally twice as long as this one, a third again wider and even thicker still. So the shop just had to put an extra tubing there to make it all fit, and they got me a nice looking tip on this side. The reason the Mercedes one is so odd is that it has one in large and then two smaller out that all go on the driver's side. So it makes it very crowded over there. You can kind of see the cutout in the bumper where the prior tip was. Just no need for that when you can just put in a stock one of these. This whole rear muffler installed was $150 plus $40 for the chrome tip. So not a bad deal. Let's look further forward in the car though. Alright, we're a little challenged for space under here, but this ought to do. Looking forward, there's the... sorry, those are the rear cats. Rear catalytics. They're unmonitored. They stay on this car now because I don't believe they're blocked. The engine performs so well. This thing is now getting about 27 to 9 on the highway. It used to get 24 to 5 before I did these mods. So that indicates to me the catalytics are not blocked. But the pair with the O2 sensors is further up there, right near the engine bay. You can see one there on the passenger side. I'm laying on the passenger side. But what I've done here is I got rid of the stock resonator, and that's the way to decrease restriction and to increase the mileage. And what's in place of the resonator is a simple Y pipe, and that piece was the Weston Y pipe available on Amazon. It's 2.5 to 3, I think. No, I think it's 2.25 on each side, and then 2.5 in the middle. And anyhow, I could always post a link or something, but then they had a fab in a pipe, and The stock Resonator is this massive piece that just is so big, so heavy, and muffles the sound unnecessarily. Now, if you're just looking for a tiny bit more resonance than stock, perhaps something like the Flowmaster 40 series would be enough. But I would suggest you start with that first, and then like I did, if you're not quite happy with how much resonance and noise and exhaust note you hear, then you can go ahead and cut out your Resonator and put a Y pipe in its place. But it's really important you do the Y pipe. And even the exhaust shop said go get the preformed one because it has a perfect chamber. And there's other maybe different ways to do this. He could have cut it up further and then come straighter back and then curve the piece more. But I think really they were trying to avoid the drive line and keep the conforming to the body pan the same. Because on the wagons, I'm not sure about the sedans, but on the 210 wagons, it's kind of got a very funny shaped bottom. And Mercedes really did their work on this car to make it aero. This is one reason why this thing gets, pert near 30 miles per gallon. And by the way, that's an 18-year-old car that has almost 200,000 miles on it. So pretty remarkably efficient. Anyways, there's other muffler options. If you want to ask in the comments, I'll be glad to give you a printed reference for what other muffler options I've discovered. But this is a fairly simple mod. We're just talking replace the rear transverse muffler. And you can go a simple one in, one out, kind of centered because there's so much room to work with. But the Y pipe is pretty specific, so you want to get one that's going to match the existing tubing, which is 2 1/4 coming from the front and then 2 1/2 at the back. Alrighty, and it worked out real good. The car sounds great. The wife is getting used to it. It's not horribly noisy, and I will try and do a drive-by so you can hear it as you go down the road. But you heard it when I did the startup. So thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. God bless.